You know, I may be in the minority on this one. But WrestleMania every single year is the one pay-per-view on the WWE calendar that I look forward to least. A lot of people pissed me off last year when they started giving out ratings for WrestleMania. People were watching the show. People went to the show. I was in and around WrestleMania fever in Orlando last year. I watched. I opted not to go to the show. I could have, but I didn't want to sit under the sweltering sun for 7 hours with a pair of binoculars. I watched from my beautiful Airbnb condo, made myself a nice dinner, and I watched WrestleMania as I sweat my balls off with no air conditioner. I watched and I watched and I watched, and I really wasn't blown away by anything. I really wasn't excited about anything. And then I get home and I do a review. I do 2 reviews last year. One after being thoroughly exhausted and covered in sweat after 7.5 hours. Just giving you my brief thoughts on the event. And then when I got back to New York, I gave you a full-fledged review because I actually rewatched the event again to give you guys a real review of what I watched. A lot of people pissed me off about WrestleMania last year, man. A lot of people really showed that they value nothing, that the quality of television that they watch really doesn't matter, and that you're easily pleased by almost anything. And I thought that was a real shame, man. I thought that was a real shame. You know, some people think that I am too critical. Some people think I'm too harsh. A lot of people will come at me and say, "Oh, why don't you watch the show for what it is, man?" I would not be doing my job if I watched the show for what it is. I don't do that here. I will never do that here. WrestleMania last year offered nothing. It offered nothing outside of a Matt and Jeff Hardy return. It offered nothing outside of a memorable then Undertaker last ride. It offered nothing outside of a phenomenal AJ Styles Shane McMahon match, which coincidentally was the best match on the show. A piss-poor WWE Championship match in which WWE gave us the wrong match. Should have been Luke Harper. Should have been Triple Threat. WWE opted to not put Luke Harper in a WrestleMania moment. A very predictable Brock Lesnar versus Bill Goldberg match for the WWE Universal Championship. John Cena being the one to finally propose to Nikki Bella. Piss poor match with The Miz and Maurice. The build was actually better than the match. So on and so forth. You guys get my point. A lot of people looked at this WrestleMania and started to give out 7s, 8s. Some people were giving it 9 ratings. And I'm asking, what the fuck are you watching? What have you watched for 7.5 hours? I don't know. The quality of programming that you watched must be fucking at 0 levels. Easily pleased, casuals. Those are the ratings that those people gave WrestleMania last year. For what? I still ask the question this year, for what? WrestleMania 33 was awful. It ended up being one of the worst pay-per-views of the year. Great Balls of Fire was a better pay-per-view than WrestleMania 33. WrestleMania has and continues to be one of the pay-per-views I look forward to least. WrestleMania 31 was the last good WrestleMania I think we got. Overall, if you're looking at the entirety of that show, it passed and was given at least a passing grade. It wasn't great by any stretch of the imagination, but it was at least a passing grade. The only reason why we remember anything from WrestleMania 30, which was also awful, was because it was a one-man show. It was all Daniel Bryan. Fantastic match with Triple H to open the show, and then Daniel Bryan was put over in the most epic way possible in that triple threat match with Randy Orton and Batista. Everything else in between was fucking terrible. Terrible. WWE gave away the streak. John Cena versus, I think, Bray Wyatt was at that event. Correct me if I'm wrong. That was just a piss-poor WrestleMania. 30-year anniversary of WrestleMania, and that's what they do. If it wasn't for Daniel Bryan, that would have been one of the worst WrestleManias of all time. This year, WWE has a lot going for them going into WrestleMania. The build hasn't really been all that. There's nothing memorable about the build whatsoever for any of these matches. Any of these matches. Yet we got a dream match with AJ Styles and Shinsuke Nakamura. Yet we got Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns for the WWE Universal Championship. Yet we got a triple threat match that potentially could steal the show with The Miz, Finn Balor, and Seth Rollins. We got a triple threat tag team match with the Usos, the Bludgeon Brothers, and the New Day. We got Braun Strowman and the mystery of his tag team partner. We got John Cena and The Undertaker. Nobody knows what version of The Undertaker we're going to get. Nobody knows if The Undertaker's even going to show up. Rusev Day possibly winning the United States Championship. 2 battle royals. Sasha and Bayley and the storyline going into their battle royal. Charlotte and Asuka for the Women's Championship on SmackDown Live. Daniel Bryan coming back and making return after 3 years. WWE has so many intertwining storylines for this year's WrestleMania. It's hard to believe that they would let anybody down with the amount of quality going into this year's show. I am no fool. I am no fool. I am not giving WWE the benefit of the doubt. It's WWE's turn this year to prove me wrong. It's WWE's turn this year to finally put on a great WrestleMania that we all deserve, not just on paper. I am not going to get excited about WrestleMania until the show is over. Then you'll finally get my opinion. Was it great or did it bomb? As far as I'm concerned, what we're going to see tonight in New Orleans with TakeOver, that's my WrestleMania. Do you want to know why? Because NXT has never let anybody down. In this short span that NXT's been around, they've never let anybody down. They've always been consistent. And when you're that consistent, there's no other way to think but them putting on a great show. WrestleMania has not been consistent. So there's no reason for me to sit here and say WrestleMania is going to be great, because WWE hasn't done so for many, many years. For many, many years. I will not fall into the hype pit that is WrestleMania. If I was in New Orleans or if I'm sitting here, I'm not going to fall into the hype pit that is WrestleMania. It's about time WWE does the right thing and delivers this year for WrestleMania 34. I will accept nothing less than a great show this year. They have no excuses. They have built everything up with piss-poor storylines going into this year's event to make what could arguably be the greatest WrestleMania card of all time. WWE has an opportunity to set themselves up on Sunday night going into Monday with a fantastic restart to their season going into the rest of 2018. I shall accept nothing less. I don't give a fuck if people think I'm being overly critical, too hard, too harsh. This is what I do. We as wrestling fans deserve more than just hype and excitement and then no delivery. WWE needs to deliver this year. Will they on paper? It certainly looks like it. But when we see the physical thing, the actual thing, WWE has given me no reason to believe with their prior history that they will. Everything is riding on WrestleMania. The rest of WWE's calendar year is riding on what they do at WrestleMania. They need to perfect Sunday night. Every aspect of Sunday night needs to be perfected. From the set, which looks fantastic, by the way, already leaked, to the match order and the match placement, to the eventual winners and losers of these matches. Everything needs to be carefully constructed. They cannot afford a mistake on Sunday night. And I shall accept no mistakes on Sunday night. Am I excited for WrestleMania? Yes. But not like everybody else where they're just fucking coming out of their skin and fanboying and fangirling all over the place. I'd be more excited if I'm in New Orleans to go to fucking Spirits on Bourbon and get one of those fucking light up skull drinks and get blasted by 12 o'clock in the afternoon. WrestleMania needs to deliver. I will be here covering every aspect of WrestleMania the way you people expect. Blunt, in your face, direct, holding nothing back. And I don't give a shit what anybody says to me after the fact. If you think it's a 9, more than likely it was a 3. WrestleMania is on Sunday night. This is your WrestleMania Go Home review. This is the fucking preview and predictions. We're going to review the entire fucking landscape that was WrestleMania storylines leading up to Sunday night. And I'm going to give you my preview and predictions for every single match on Sunday night's show. And I'm going to give you every possible outcome of what could happen, what should happen, and what will happen at WrestleMania 34. This is episode 216, part number 2 for your WrestleMania weekend. This is Off the Script.
And all of my broken brilliance mask opponents. And here I am with JD.
You ready for this? All I mentioned was Roman Reigns. SummerSlam people was on Saturday night. I highly recommend. That would be my number 1 match at the end of 2018.
Ladies and gentlemen, I just got exclusive news on your live.
Right here on the number 1 professional wrestling podcast. Right here on YouTube.com. Ooh, with that intro, man. I like that one. I like that one a lot, man. That one was submitted by Dustin, and I thought he did a very, very good job on that intro, man. We're continuing the JD Off the Script Intro Invitational, and that is submission number 3. Yesterday, Josh won with the unanimous vote, pretty much. He moves on to the next round. And we're going to find out who Dustin's opponent is in just a little bit, man. Thank you guys for taking part in the Off the Script intro voting. I'm going to leave you guys a poll in the top right corner of the screen. And you guys are physically going to vote for the new intro to the Off the Script podcast with my brother's music to accompany it. So thank you guys so very much for all of that. Having fun with it so far, and we're going to listen to and see Dustin's opponent in just a little bit, man. But I want to get this out there because this is very important. Before we do anything, man, Wrestle Rumble is sponsoring the podcast all weekend long. WrestleRumble.com has 2 pick'ems this year. One for NXT TakeOver New Orleans, and then the other, of course, for WrestleMania 34, man. You're going to go to WrestleRumble.com. You're going to use your knowledge to the best of your ability. You're going to put that to the test against so many other players around the world playing this thing. And you're going to try and win not only cash money, but prizes as well. All you got to do is go to WrestleRumble.com. 1 entry is $10. 3 entries is $20. And 5 entries is $30. You guys know what the better deal is right there. Same thing goes for both NXT and WrestleMania Pick'ems. The NXT prizes are the NXT Championship title and 50 MVP points. And then from 2nd to 20th place, you're going to get MVP points all the way from 50 to 35 for a massive grand prize at the end of this thing. WrestleMania prizes. First place is $1,000 cash plus 50 MVP points. Second and third place get $200. Fourth and fifth place get $100 plus MVP points. 50 MVP points from first to fifth place. 6th through 10th place. 3-month subscription to the High Spots Wrestling Network and your choice of any shirt from 80stees.com and their WrestleMania collection, plus 45 MVP points. 11th through 20th place will get 40 and 35 MVP points respectively, man. It's a point system where the winner will be the contestant with the most points. You're going to answer their questions, and the winner will be the one with the most points accumulated, man. So please take a part in this great event. WrestleRumble.com and their WrestleMania and NXT Pick'em, which starts tonight. I will be in both. So make sure you guys have fun with it. Hopefully someone who listens to the Off the Script podcast is going to be a grand prize winner, not only for NXT, but WrestleMania as well, man. Once again, that's WrestleRumble.com. And if you want to support WrestleRumble, they do have t-shirts on ProWrestlingTees.com. Thank you guys so very much for all of that. Now, we are going to look at the second entry in the Off the Script Intro Invitational. Who's it going to be? And who is going to battle Dustin? I'm sorry, Justin. Thinking of fucking LeBar. He's posting pictures all over New Orleans with his buddies drinking, and he had a bunch of interviews yesterday. But we're going to find out who is going to battle Dustin in the Off the Script Intro Invitational. So let's find out who it is, and remember to vote for who you think should move on to the next round to challenge Josh M. for the Off the Script Intro Invitational second round. Let's find out who it is. Remember to vote. I'll see you guys right after it's over. The number 1 fucking podcast. Are you fucking kidding me? Roman Reigns got nothing. Fuck up. My wall to my bedroom has more charisma than fucking Roman Reigns. Fuck out. Yes!
Roman Reigns is done! Yes! Yes!
Why is he even here? He don't belong in the back. He doesn't respect the locker room. Let me go fucking vomit in the corner, please. Right here on YouTube.com. What a shit match. Yeah, what's going on? This is why Raw this show sucks. This fucking review sucks. You have to be a simple-minded fucking buffoon if you fell for this fucking rhetoric.
My name is Kevin Dunn.
This is Off the Script. Oh my god, man. I don't know which one was better, dude. I don't know which one was better. Dustin's or that one was from King Schmidt. Oh my god, man. It's going to be a very, very difficult choice to see who goes on to battle Josh M. in the second round, man. I like that one a lot, man. That's a tough choice. It's all up to you guys, though. It's not up to me. It's all up to you guys, man. You're going to vote in the top right corner who won the intro contest for today, man. Was it Dustin or was it King Schmidt? So I'll leave you guys to vote there, the poll. You let me know what you all thought. I want to thank everybody, man. You guys have been tweeting me all night. You guys are in New Orleans with this shit. They do it for Roman. Available on barbershopwindow.com. /offthescript, the most popular t-shirt right now on Barbershop Window. They do it for Roman. So make sure you guys get it exclusively on Barbershop Window. Also coming to Barbershop Window, man, coming soon, as of next week, the True Face is finally back, and no, Roman Reigns ain't the top dog in WWE anymore. You want to know why? Because the True Face, the true successor to John Cena, is finally back, and that is Daniel Bryan, coming soon to Barbershop Window, man. I want to thank everybody for supporting Harry's, harrys.com/script. If you guys want the best shave of your life, you're going to give Harry's a call, man. And they are so confident that you're going to have the best shave of your life, they're going to give you a free trial shave set just because they believe so highly in their product. And you guys know me, I would not put my name to anybody unless I firmly believe in what they are doing. That's why I'm with Harry's, and I'm giving you guys a free trial shave set just for listening to the show, man. harrys.com/script. All you guys got to do is pay the shipping and handling. You're going to get a razor blade, a razor handle, a sample of their foaming shave gel, which people have even told me, JD, it smells fantastic. Not only does it smell fantastic, it feels fantastic when you rub it in your beard, man. Unbelievable. And you're going to get a free trial razor blade protective case. So you guys can take that blade wherever you go and it could stay safe. So that's harrys.com/script. Get your free trial today. You guys know the deal. Also, Audible is still offering everybody 30 days free and one free audiobook of your choice. All you have to do is simply download the app. You guys got a fucking Android. You guys got an iPhone. Download Audible's app for free. Then you're going to go to audibletrial.com/offthescript. And then you guys are going to fill in the appropriate information. And then you guys are going to be on your way to browsing Audible for 30 days, and they're going to give you one free audiobook of your choice. Now, if you guys have already signed up, I'm sure you guys got family, friends, co-workers, classmates, your girlfriend's family, whomever, man. The fucking guy that you see every day at the deli when you go get your fucking Arizona iced tea. It doesn't matter, man. Tell him JD's giving free audiobooks away. Doesn't matter. audibletrial.com/offthescript. It's a great way to support the program. Thank you guys so very much for all that you do. We are going to start the show off with some WrestleMania news before we get into the full-fledged preview and predictions, because I got some WrestleMania news that's very pertinent to some of the bigger matches on Sunday night. Original plans for Batista at WrestleMania 34 have finally been revealed. Now, why isn't Batista at WrestleMania? I don't know. I figured WWE would want to bring in Batista for WrestleMania. Batista has been vocal about wanting to come back to the WWE. He's been very vocal about wanting to come back, not as a part-timer, but as a full-time guy, meaning live TV every week, meaning house shows every single night. He wants the full tour before he finally hangs up the boot, which he wants to have conclude with a retirement match against Triple H. But what stopped Batista from being at WrestleMania? Well, WrestleMania 34 is this Sunday, tomorrow night. We got 13 matches confirmed for the show by WWE. Some of the most highly anticipated matches on Sunday's card include the dream match between AJ Styles and Shinsuke Nakamura for the WWE Championship, Charlotte Flair versus Asuka for the SmackDown Live Women's title, and the mixed tag team match with Ronda Rousey and Kurt Angle versus Stephanie McMahon and Triple H. Not many superstars get the opportunity to make their WWE in-ring debut at WrestleMania, but that's exactly what will happen for Ronda Rousey at WrestleMania this weekend. And we actually got a glimpse of what Ronda's going to be wearing at WrestleMania. WWE, during the Hall of Fame last night, which I was bored out of my fucking mind watching, after Hillbilly Jim, I was done. After Hillbilly Jim, bro, I was done. Though I did go back and watch Jeff Jarrett and Mark Henry, which were easily the two best speeches of the night. Jeff Jarrett, believe it or not a big fan of Jeff Jarrett. Never was a big fan of Jeff Jarrett, but with him on stage and him being emotional the way he was kind of made me teary-eyed, and you kind of got the sense that everything that the guy was saying was fucking 100% genuine. Same with Mark Henry. You know, two class acts, and they made the Hall of Fame last night for me. The Dudleys were okay. I think they went on a little bit too long, and I didn't really find any of the stuff they did like overly funny. Devon tried to be funny when he really wasn't that funny. But Jarrett and Mark Henry saved the Hall of Fame for me last night. And I think Bill Goldberg, you know, he came off as somebody who doesn't really love the business. But we all knew that about Bill Goldberg going in, so it really didn't bother me at all. But those are my quick thoughts on the Hall of Fame. But we did get a commercial for the WWE Network. There's a 24 special coming on Ronda Rousey, and we kind of got a glimpse of what she's going to be wearing. She's going to be wearing something similar to what she wore in the UFC, but it's going to be white, or it looked to be white, and it said Rowdy across her chest. So she's probably going to be dressed in her MMA style, you know, outfit, but that was a glimpse of what we might be getting at WrestleMania. Also, I'm hearing that WWE is bringing back King of the Ring for the UK. A UK tournament for King of the Ring. You guys know I'm all about the King of the Ring. Let's get King of the Ring back on WWE pay-per-view. And let's do it like, you know, we really mean it. I wish WWE would do that. We're getting another Mae Young Classic as well. Apparently a second annual Mae Young Classic, which I'm hoping we see the reemergence of Toni Storm again. And I'd love to see some new faces that I don't know or am familiar with. So, you know, you're not going to hear a negative peep out of me as regards to that. I love that shit. I'm glad they're bringing the Mae Young Classic back. I thought it was great the first time around. Could have been done a lot better. So we'll see what they do this time around. But that's neither here or there. We'll talk about that when the time comes. But Ronda Rousey is having her first in-ring match at WrestleMania. Not many people can say that. But with the Olympic hero being added to the match, another WWE legend was considered to be Ronda's partner. So they did give us Kurt Angle, the Olympic gold medalist, to be Ronda's partner. But another WWE superstar was considered to be Ronda's partner before this was even announced, and that was Batista. It was supposed to be Batista and Ronda Rousey against Triple H and Stephanie McMahon. Now, according to the Wrestling Observer newsletter, the Animal, Batista, revealed during an appearance at a convention last weekend that WWE had talked to him about teaming with Rousey at WrestleMania, but there has been no word as to why a deal wasn't reached between the two parties. WWE had 4 initial names in mind to be Rousey's WrestleMania tag team partner. Obviously, those were The Rock, Kurt Angle, Shane McMahon, and Seth Rollins. But now we can add Batista to that list. Rousey and Angle versus Triple H and Stephanie should still be a headline match, but fans would have loved to see Batista in the ring one more time. As for when Batista will return to the ring for WWE, it very well could be sooner than you think. As he revealed that he turned down a Hall of Fame induction because he feels his career is not over. He said last month, "I haven't accepted a nomination into the WWE Hall of Fame because I just don't feel like my career is over. I still feel like I have plenty to offer, but now it's a scheduling issue and it's also a creative issue. You never say never, but I'd love to go back." Now, why wasn't there a deal reached between Batista and the WWE? Why did WWE go with Kurt Angle? Well, apparently Batista was their number one. Triple H and WWE management did not even bother to reach out to Batista. Everything was made. Talks, several weeks of talks were made. Money was offered. And WWE didn't give Batista the courtesy of letting him know what they wanted to do. They didn't call him and say, "Listen, we're going to take you or we're going in another direction. They just left Batista hanging, so he didn't know what the fuck was going on. They called him, they wanted him, plans were made, ideas were thrown around, and then WWE, all of a sudden, just like everybody else, Batista seen, okay, they went with Kurt Angle. They went with Kurt Angle instead. Now, I don't know why they did that. I don't see how that could be good as far as a relationship issue with Batista and WWE. I don't know why they wouldn't give this guy the courtesy of saying, yeah, Dave, we're going to go with somebody else. We're going to go with Kurt Angle instead. We'll bring you in at a later date because I know, you want to come back. I don't understand why they did that to Batista. It would have been common courtesy. It would have been the right thing to do to tell him, listen, we're going to go in another direction here. Maybe WWE figured that Batista wasn't interested because he wants to come back for more than just a one-off at WrestleMania. But who knows what this would have led into after that, Maybe they got caught in what Batista had said prior, that he really wants to do the whole full schedule, live TV, house shows. He wants a retirement match with Triple H. Maybe they felt like, he really wants to just do that and not be settling for a one-off match here in a tag team environment against Triple H. Maybe they want to give him what he really wants. I don't know, but still, there should have been some line of communication to let this guy know, listen, Dave, we're not going to go with you. We're going to go with Kurt instead. So that's the reason Dave Batista was not chosen for the Ronda Rousey match at WrestleMania. Kind of fucked up, kind of shitty, but it's WWE. Do you expect anything less? No, I don't. So those were the original plans for Batista at WrestleMania 34. Speaking of Ronda, there were rumors. There continues to be rumors that WWE wants to pair Paul Heyman with Ronda Rousey. Now, news as of this week, WWE doesn't want to pair Ronda Rousey with Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman, right now, is arguably the best manager in all of professional wrestling. He may be the greatest professional wrestling manager in history, according to some. And obviously, Paul Heyman's body of work. He cuts some of the best promos in the professional wrestling world. He currently serves as the advocate for the loser at WrestleMania, the WWE Universal Champion Brock Lesnar, as they head into his title defense against Roman Reigns. Recently, Heyman noted that if Lesnar loses this weekend, he won't be on Raw next week, which is not a spoiler. That is just the way things are going. Lesnar's not resigning with the WWE, and Lesnar is going back to the UFC after he fulfills his suspension through the USADA steroid suspension that he was nailed for back when he was wrestling for UFC 200. Per a report from Wrestling Observer Newsletter and Dave Meltzer, this could mean one of two things. The first being WWE changed the finish of the match, which Reigns is expected to win. Highly unlikely they'll change the outcome of that match. I wish that they would, being that I think some of you guys mentioned that Paul Heyman came out during the Hall of Fame last night and said that Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar is indeed the main event for WrestleMania 34. I hope if they're putting that match on last, they got some type of swerve or some type of betrayal, because nobody in that arena, none of those 80,000 people want to see Roman Reigns hold the Universal Championship high in the air with fireworks going off as we get yet another coronation, undeservedly so, for someone who doesn't deserve it at all. Or second, Heyman truly believes that he doesn't have a job with the WWE if Lesnar isn't there. I don't see why that would even be an issue, because WWE would have to be completely out of their fucking mind not to value not only Heyman's talent, but his opinion as well, and his creative mind for the WWE product. It seems that Ronda Rousey wants Heyman's services next. There's no better candidate to be the first female client of the Advocate, as she's surely the biggest name in female sports today. Rousey's promo skills definitely need some work, and having someone like Heyman serve as her mouthpiece, not only as her mouthpiece, but as a teacher when she's not on camera, could end up paying off huge for her and WWE. However, WWE might not allow this move to happen due to personal issues between Heyman and the McMahon family. Heyman being paired with Rousey would mean Heyman would have to go over on a McMahon, and they do not want that to happen. Rousey is an ex-UFC women's bantamweight champion, a former Olympian, and completely changed the face of women's mixed martial arts. She legitimizes the women's division in WWE and will bring so much to that division, hopefully, in 2018. If she can polish up her in-ring work, which we don't know what she's capable of yet until we see her tomorrow night at WrestleMania, and then have Heyman cut some amazing promos on her behalf in the ring and stack up championships in the process, she could go down as one of the greatest of all time. Some people are already claiming that this is the best signing that WWE has ever had in its history. Rousey will make her in-ring debut this weekend when she teams with Kurt Angle against Triple H and Stephanie McMahon in a mixed tag team contest at WrestleMania 34. Would the McMahons be that fucking just ignorant to not put Paul Heyman with Ronda Rousey because they don't want Heyman going over the McMahon family? Yeah, I could see that happening. Is that good for business? No. Anybody with a right mind and a functioning brain would realize that is not what is best for business. Who gives a shit? Ronda Rousey is going over the McMahon family at WrestleMania on Sunday. So what difference does it make if Heyman goes over the McMahon family? Who cares? And how would Heyman be going over the McMahon family anyway? Rousey is pretty much done with the McMahon family after this WrestleMania. She's not going to get involved with Triple H anymore in a wrestling capacity. She's not going to be with Stephanie McMahon in a wrestling capacity. I'm not interested in seeing Stephanie McMahon versus Ronda Rousey one-on-one after this Sunday. Nobody is. So why not pair Paul Heyman, who you know his body of work and what he could do for a superstar, why not pair his mouth and give that talent to Ronda Rousey? Ronda Rousey doesn't need to talk. All Ronda needs to do is come out, flip that switch, be evil Ronda, and have Paul Heyman produce promos for her on her behalf. You know, Brock Lesnar is not one of those guys that needs Paul Heyman. They could build Ronda Rousey the same way. I wish Brock Lesnar would get a word or two in when Paul Heyman does the majority of the work, because I enjoy hearing from Brock Lesnar. I enjoy when Lesnar speaks because it's legit. He's unscripted. You don't know what the fucking guy's gonna say. And when he speaks, you know it's genuine. He's not fucking filtered. I wish they'd do the same thing with Ronda. Ronda right now, in the 4 weeks that we've seen her on WWE TV, has failed. Clearly she's not ready, and clearly she's been thrown into a situation that she's not ready for. WWE is hoping that she just gets over based on who she is. But we're seeing her. And it's not fair that we're seeing her, because when we do see her, we're putting her so closely under the microscope that we're going to notice every single detail of what she's doing wrong instead of what she's doing right. I've noticed everything from the way she holds the microphone, to the way she speaks, to her facial expressions, to her body language, to her smiling. I've noticed everything, and it's not fair because I want to give Ronda a chance. I have high hopes for Ronda Rousey. Ronda Rousey comes off as someone who legitimately wants to be there. But if she's not ready, WWE is selfishly using Ronda to get WrestleMania over with the mainstream audience, but at the same time, they're allowing Ronda not only to embarrass herself, but fail in the process because she is not ready. She is not ready. With Paul Heyman, she'd be ready. I wish WWE would visit that. I wish WWE would do more to keep Paul Heyman on their payroll when Lesnar is not there. That's how valuable Paul Heyman is. Paul Heyman to WWE television is some of the best stuff that we see on Monday night. Why would you not want Paul Heyman on television? Pairing Paul Heyman with Ronda Rousey ensures that he's going to be on television. Ensuring that the women's division would be more legit than anything that we've seen before it. I don't see why WWE doesn't think that would be good for business. Heyman with Rousey in the women's division? Do you know what that does for the legitimacy of the women's division? I don't get it. That alone would help make everybody else around the division better. You're not going to pair Paul Heyman with Ronda Rousey and then give me the same tired bullshit storylines that we're seeing right now. With Paul Heyman in the women's division, it's going to force everybody's hand to be that much better. Come on. This is a pure product of having the influence of Paul Heyman affect everyone else around him. WWE, do the right thing and pair Paul Heyman with Ronda Rousey. Just for a little bit. Just until she gets, familiar and comfortable with what she has to do. And if Paul Heyman is really leaving, WWE is letting money walk out with Paul Heyman walking out. Why they wouldn't want to keep Paul Heyman is just fucking mind-boggling to me. I wish they'd keep Paul Heyman around. We'll see what happens. After Sunday night, we may see the last, for right now, of Paul Heyman. Speaking of last, I mentioned yesterday that there's no doubt in my mind that whatever WWE is doing with John Cena and The Undertaker, it definitely is happening last. I hope it is. I hope whatever Paul Heyman stated last night at the Hall of Fame is not what they're planning. And I reported yesterday on Off the Script. If you missed it, part 1 will be linked with everything else in the YouTube annotation, the card that you see in the top right corner. Go and check it out. Vince McMahon reportedly has decided on the WrestleMania main event, which some of you are saying is confirmed by Paul Heyman last night at the Hall of Fame. It will indeed be Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns for the Universal Championship closing the show. I think that is a huge mistake. That is a colossal mistake. Undertaker and John Cena, if we don't hear from them during the show, there's no other choice but to put them on last. Undertaker and John Cena, will they be one-on-one at WrestleMania, or are they setting up for a match at WrestleMania 35 at MetLife Stadium? If you were told that WWE was planning to have John Cena finally battle The Undertaker at WrestleMania, everyone would be expecting plenty of hype every week on Monday Night Raw or SmackDown Live to engage the audience and create a genuine buzz. The last thing we all expected was exactly what WWE has been delivering on television. For weeks, Cena has been calling out the dead man as each episode passed. The WWE Universe felt like the following week would be the night the Phenom returns to accept the challenge and confirm the match. However, the final editions of Raw and SmackDown before WrestleMania 34 on Sunday night are in the books, and there's still no Undertaker. Now the assumption is that while Cena will attend WrestleMania in New Orleans as a fan, there will be an impromptu match instead, something not many fans are too pleased with. I don't know why. Those are the fucking people who don't think. Those are the people that are impatient. And I mentioned these people on yesterday's show. This is something completely different than what we've been seeing with The Undertaker from previous years. Why are you not warming up to the fact, and why are you not welcoming the fact that they tried something different with The Undertaker this year? Yeah, because last year's build with Roman Reigns was so fucking great, right? Fuck out of here, man. Those people piss me off. I've been very pleased with the build with John Cena and The Undertaker. Another theory is that with Kid Rock being inducted into the celebrity ring of the Hall of Fame, his performance could lead to a surprise return of The Undertaker under the American Badass gimmick. Although there's still a great deal of confidence of the match going ahead as planned, Mike Johnson of PW Insider has swooped in with some interesting speculation of his own, claiming that while The Undertaker will be at WrestleMania, it doesn't mean he's actually going to wrestle. He's claiming that there's a chance Cena and Taker could come face-to-face in the middle of the ring before setting up a match for WrestleMania 35. According to Ringside News, he said, I guess Undertaker is going to surprise at WrestleMania. I am told by people in the company, he says. No one has told me he's scheduled to wrestle, but they have told me he's scheduled to be at Mania. So many are saying that he will be there, but We don't know if he's going to wrestle or not. So Mike Johnson continues. So maybe he's going to have a face-off with Cena, and they're going to use the face-off to build to something else. I don't know. End quote. Even though the build-up has been weak to some, I've enjoyed it. I thought Cena has done a fantastic job at building this feud on his own without The Undertaker even being present. But it seems highly unlikely that WWE would build up to this moment for weeks with this John Cena storyline and not have a natural conclusion in the form of a match. And this is something that could seriously anger fans if not delivered upon. WWE simply needs to deliver. On the other hand, his health does need to be taken into account. If he can't go this year, which I mentioned yesterday, then it's unlikely that Vince McMahon will force him to have a match. So now the idea is, yeah, The Undertaker's going to be there. We don't know what version of The Undertaker we're going to get. He's going to be there, but now he might not wrestle because it's not confirmed. We don't know. My take on this is this, and I brought this up yesterday. Is The Undertaker physically fit to go? He can post whatever Instagram video on his wife's Instagram page. You know, people can say, you know, till they're blue in the face. Undertaker looks amazing. He looks in wrestling shape. He's moving around great. Blah, 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 blah. We hear the same fucking thing every single year. We don't know how good he is in the ring. We don't. After last year, do you want to see The Undertaker in the ring? I don't. I don't want to see him in the ring ever again. Because he's going to be a shell of his former self. And I don't want to see The Undertaker go out like that. If they're setting up for WrestleMania 35, it is going to anger a lot of fucking people. I don't want to see a year and 1 month build to The Undertaker and John Cena. I don't. I really don't. You got it this year, you do it this year. I think the plan of the impromptu match is different, and I think it would genuinely surprise a lot of people who right now are angry. You know, there's a lot of people, you know, I'm not saying everybody thinks the way I do or think the way we do. You know, a lot of people genuinely think The Undertaker's not going to be there. A lot of people think The Undertaker's genuinely not wrestling. Give those fans what they're paying their money for. Give those fans what they want to see. They want to see The Undertaker? Then do it. An impromptu match to close WrestleMania is not only different, but it's fucking historic. Has there ever been a conclusion to WrestleMania like that with an impromptu match? I don't think so. Let's do it. Let's make history. You want first time evers? There's another one. Undertaker and John Cena, I think, would be the perfect conclusion to the match. But first, let's get that showdown that I want to see. Let's get The Undertaker retaliating against John Cena and all the things that he's said untruthfully about The Undertaker. I want to see The Undertaker speak. The Undertaker and the visual of Kid Rock and him coming down to the American Badass theme on his motorcycle is history in itself. It's a WrestleMania moment in itself. I think we need to see the full-fledged entire storyline conclude at WrestleMania. I don't want to wait till WrestleMania 35. I don't want to see The Undertaker wrestle at WrestleMania 35. I want this to be his go-home. I want this to be his last ride. There's nothing else for the guy to prove. There's really nobody else in the WWE that I want to see The Undertaker go up against. It's not like we're going to see Undertaker Shawn Michaels from WrestleMania 25 at WrestleMania 35. I don't want to see it. There's nobody else on that roster that A, deserves a match with The Undertaker at WrestleMania, and B, there's nobody else on that roster that I really want to see against The Undertaker. Period. This is it. It's the end of the line. It's John Cena, and that's it. Over. I hope we don't get something that Mike Johnson is describing. I hope we don't get a surprise, a showdown, a confrontation, and then no match. But being that people are already saying that Lesnar and Reigns is the main event, we may end up getting just a showdown. We don't know. We got to take everything into consideration. Is The Undertaker going to give us, or is WWE rather, going to give us an impromptu match in the middle of this show with The Undertaker and John Cena? Is that what they're worth? Middle of the card? Or is this something that you've built up for a month and a few weeks now with John Cena? Dating back to January, they built this thing up with him losing the Royal Rumble. And then him losing the Elimination Chamber. WWE's built this up for 3 months. Is this 3-month build worth a middle of the card confrontation and no match? Or is it worth closing the show with? I hope WWE makes the right decision. I want WrestleMania to go out in style. Roman Reigns winning the Universal Championship is not WrestleMania going out in style. Undertaker and John Cena in something that offers different and historic is certainly different and worthy of closing WrestleMania. And the cherry on top of the cake, some people might not agree with me on John Cena's behalf, but they both deserve it. They both deserve it. Cena, yeah. Undertaker, absolutely. It's not like we're talking about two schmucks here. We're talking about John Cena and The Undertaker to close WrestleMania. I think a lot of people would be happy with that. So we don't know, man. We're going to find out on Sunday night. We can all speculate. We can all predict. But we don't know. We just don't know. And you know what? I'm glad we don't know. I'm glad this is offering some level of unpredictability at WrestleMania. Good on WWE, because it's not a lot that we sit here and we give the WWE a thumbs up for a job well done. A lot of what we're seeing at WrestleMania presents itself to be predictable. This is the one thing that we genuinely do not know. And that's going to make for a great show. We're going to talk about WrestleMania in full. I'm going to run down the preview and predictions in the second half of this podcast. Let's hit that. I'll see you guys on the flip side. This is Off the Script, episode 216, part number 2. Still to come, WrestleMania 34, and everything I'm thinking going into the Superdome in New Orleans.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am Broken Nut Hardy. This is JD from New York. Actually, delete to JD from New York. I am Cletus Vessel. Make sure to check out his wonderful show, Off the Script. It's absolutely delightful.
Man, I'm looking at this match card for WrestleMania, and holy shit, is it a daunting task. Just looking at the 13 matches, not including The Undertaker and John Cena, by the way. The 13 matches that are on this show, I am not going to go over literally everything that we've seen on WWE television. I'm not. I don't think I can physically sit here. Because I want to enjoy the rest of my afternoon before I got to sit down and do TakeOver tonight. You know? But we're going to go over the matches. I'm going to give you my brief opinion on some things that bother me about these matches, some things that I like, the eventual winners who I'd like to see win these things. You know, we might as well start off with the pre-show. And the pre-show is, right out of the gate, WWE fucked up on the pre-show. They fucked up on the pre-show. WWE got 2 matches on the pre-show correct. Cedric Alexander and Mustafa Ali do not belong on the pre-show. Okay? Why the Cruiserweight Championship is on the pre-show still bothers me. And no, it's not because I am a fan of vanilla midgets or indie darlings. It's doing the right thing. It's doing the right thing. Cedric Alexander and Mustafa Ali are 2 men out of 16 who took part in a Cruiserweight Championship tournament for the resurrection of 205 Live. And what we got and what we were presented from 205 Live, ever since this tournament was announced, has been some of the best WWE television of all year, of all of 2018. Now, it really goes to show you how Triple H feels about 205 Live and what we've seen. It goes to show you how the man before Triple H, who was involved, or the team that was involved, didn't care about 205 Live and the Cruiserweight Championship. It makes me feel like even now that the men who were previously involved with 205 Live still do not care about the Cruiserweights and do not care about 205 Live. Otherwise, this would have been presented in the way it should be presented on the main show. Let me get this out there for everybody who wants to fucking pick an argument with me. The pre-show is not WrestleMania. It's not. It is not. I don't care what fucking analyst number 1 has to say. I don't give a shit what analyst number 2 has to say. I don't care what publication you write for, motherfucker. The pre-show is not WrestleMania. It's not. It's not. Why were there reports about Neville being upset that he didn't get a WrestleMania payday? Why was it that he was upset he wasn't on the DVD box to make extra commission and extra revenue for his paycheck? It's because the Cruiserweight Championship wasn't a part of WrestleMania. And if the Cruiserweight Championship is not on the box for when you see it in Walmart or Target or Best Buy or wherever you buy your fucking DVDs at, I don't know who the fuck is buying DVDs still. When you see that box and you see the Cruiserweight Championship not there, and Neville doesn't see his name there, and Austin Aries doesn't see his name there, are they a part of WrestleMania? No! They're not. They are not. You don't even have to go back that far. You can look at the Usos and listen to what they've been saying. We haven't been on WrestleMania in 9 years. What are you talking about? You've been on you've been on WrestleMania's show for 9 years. You've been a part of WrestleMania, right? But you haven't been a part of WrestleMania for 9 years. This is the year that they changed that. What do they mean by that? What are they talking about, JD? I'll tell you what they're talking about. The pre-show is not WrestleMania. You want to know how I know the pre-show is not WrestleMania? I mentioned this in my Cruiserweight Championship should be on the main show video. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, I'll link you. I was in Orlando last year, and there were no TVs in the bar in which I was occupying. I didn't see any pre-WrestleMania festivities. Had a beer in my hand. I was doing fireball shots with LeBar. Mingling with Adam Cole. And by the time 5 p.m. rolled around, it's when the pre-show starts, right? People were still mingling and sitting in the bar, and people were not moving from where they were, in no hurry to get to the stadium for WrestleMania. 6 o'clock rolled around, 6:30 rolled around, people were boarding their bus. I was on my way back to my hotel. People were saying, via reports on Twitter, the Cruiserweights just put on a great match. Austin Aries and Neville delivered. Yeah, but where were you? Where were you? You were in the bar drinking because you don't even consider the pre-show WrestleMania. When the fans aren't rushing to the venue to watch the pre-show, then it must not be that important. This is why I think Cedric Alexander and Mustafa Ali are getting the shaft on WrestleMania's card. How can you put 205 Live in the position that it's in now and not want to continue that momentum? I don't understand it. Now, the question is, what spot on the pre-show is this match going to get? Is it going to happen at 5:30 when there's nobody in the venue? Or is it going to happen closer to 7 o'clock when there are people in the venue? At least that, at this point, I would accept, being that they're not on the main show. How can you take 205 Live and resurrect it to what it is now and not want to continue momentum, not want to continue to feature these guys in front of a wide array of audience, with everybody tuning in to the WWE Network at the same time for the start of WrestleMania? Why this match wouldn't open the show? There's no better way to get the show started, the show kicked off, the adrenaline and the excitement flowing through 80,000 fucking people than with the Cruiserweights and a crowning of a new Cruiserweight champion. Cedric Alexander and Mustafa Ali would tear the house down. People would be invested. You would get reaction for a cruiserweight match that we deserve to be getting. These guys need to be featured on the main show. Why you would put these guys on the pre-show to contain them in their own little bubble and say, yeah, it's not as important as Alexa Bliss and Nia Jax, which would be the match I put on the pre-show. Alexa Bliss and Nia Jax is pre-show garbage. Trash. Yes, a match that we are being given for the Raw Women's Championship, in which the Raw Women's Championship is the second most important thing. Oh my God, it's all about Nia's image. You do realize that this match is mainly a priority about Nia's image and not the championship. Great job there, WWE. Great job there. I gotta give you a resounding applause for sheer stupidity. Cedric Alexander and Mustafa Ali are, yes, fighting for the Cruiserweight Championship. Not everybody's a fan of the Cruiserweights. Not many people know who the Cruiserweights are. But with 205 Live and the resurgence of this brand being featured on the pre-show remains the fact that WWE doesn't give a shit about 205 Live, and they will never give a shit about 205 Live. They failed and they let the Cruiserweights down. So you know what I hope? I hope Cedric Alexander and Mustafa Ali go out there and burn the Superdome down to the fucking ground. Out of all these matches, I hope that's the one match people are talking about going into Monday Night Raw on Monday. Gotta get that off my chest. I don't understand why you wouldn't put these guys in front of a wider audience. How many people, how many casuals watching the show know who fucking Cedric Alexander and Mustafa Ali are? How many casuals watching the show know what 205 Live is? You don't think if you put these guys on the main show, who are these guys? Where can I find them? Where can I watch them wrestle? Yes, 205 Live on Tuesday nights at 10:30 on the WWE Network. Or 10 o'clock now that the Mixed Match Challenge is over. Am I wrong? Am I right? You better fucking believe I'm right. Cedric Alexander and Mustafa Ali deserve to be on the main card. That's my pre-show rant. Andre the Giant Memorial, Titus Catering. Titus is baking a fucking piece of chicken cutlet with green beans and red potatoes battle royal. Oh, Titus, when it will be done? What are we having for dessert? Key lime pie, cheesecake, strawberry shortcake, double chocolate fudge cheesecake? Whatever. Two wastes of a match. I'll be watching. I'll be home. I gotta watch. It's my fucking job. Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. I think someone told me today that Elias is confirmed for the Battle Royal. If he is, more than likely that is your winner. I hope WWE doesn't put guys like Samoa Joe in the Battle Royal. I hope WWE doesn't put guys like Jeff Hardy in the Battle Royal because they're due to return any moment now. If Elias is in the Battle Royal, if he's confirmed, he's going to win the Battle Royal. If he's not in the Battle Royal, I wish WWE would give it to a guy like Ty Dillinger. That's who I wish would get the Battle Royal. Because I think Ty Dillinger deserves a nice little push on SmackDown Live. I think he's been suppressed enough. But if Elias is in the Battle Royal, on top of whatever else he's doing, I'm sure he'll be doing like a solo concert or a comedy skit. Elias, if he's in the Battle Royal, will win the Battle Royal. What will he win? An ugly-looking trophy, but other than that, nothing. WrestleMania Women's Battle Royal. I love how WWE pushes the initiative, the first ever Women's Battle Royal. Correct me if I'm wrong, didn't a man dressed as a female win the other Battle Royal that we're talking about? Yeah, first ever though, right? Yeah, sure. Sure thing, WWE. Women's Battle Royal that was named after an idiot. WWE changed the name after the fact. There's a story going around that Jericho actually pitched the idea to Vince McMahon to name it the Sensational Invitational, named after Sensational Sherry, but Vince McMahon didn't like the idea. Go figure. A great idea from a Hall of Famer. Vince says, nah, fuck it. WrestleMania Women's Battle Royal. Yes, with the likes of Dana Brooke and Alicia Fox and these other fucking worthless women in this evolution. The only ones that matter here are Sasha Banks and Bayley. These are the only two that matter. And realistically, these are the only women that should be focused on in the Battle Royal. Now, all we need is Eva Marie to come out and be in the Battle Royal. Can you imagine? Can you imagine WWE enlisting the talents of Eva Marie in this Battle Royal? Eva Marie would be looking at Mandy Rose. It'd be looking like, it'd be like someone looking into a fucking mirror. Looking at the reflection staring back at them. One's a redhead and one's a blonde. Well, I don't know what fucking color Eva Marie's hair is now. Black? Whatever. No matter what hair color, she's awful. Women's Battle Royal. Down to business. It's about Sasha and Bayley. Realistically, this should be the Raw Women's Championship match, but who the fuck am I? I've been stating it for 3 months now. Sasha Banks and Bayley should be the match for the Raw Women's Championship because it would put precedent on the title and not someone's fucking image. You know, we don't care about Nia Jax getting her school books at Bayside High and then having Alexa Bliss, the big bad bully, come fat shame her walking down the hallway. You know, walking to Miss Bliss's class. Fuck out of here, dude. Are you fucking kidding me? You know? Then we're gonna have Mr. Belding come out. You know, this is all this feud needed. Mr. Belding coming out here and saying, hey, what is going on here? That's all we fucking needed for this fucking feud. Right? But no, Sasha Banks and Bayley can't get the Raw Women's Championship match. Yeah, good job, WWE. Good job there. It's about Sasha and Bayley, being that they don't have the title match and they don't have a regular one-on-one non-title match, which I'm glad they don't because they would have never been given the fucking time of day to tell a proper story the way that they deserve with this loaded card. Save it for another day and another event. Maybe the title will be on the line then. This should set up and procure Sasha Banks' heel turn. Now, Bayley, you know, it could go either way. I would rather see Sasha Banks be the heel because that's what she is. She's just she's a legit bitch, and she plays the bitch very well. I want to see Sasha Banks in NXT, the one that was taking Izzy's fucking hat off and just fucking wiping her ass with it and making her cry. That's what I want to see. That's the Sasha Banks we need to see on Monday Night Raw or wherever she ends up. At this point, I'd put her on SmackDown Live because Monday Night Raw is nothing but a fucking curse to Sasha Banks. SmackDown Live ain't no better with fucking D-O-double-G, Road Dogg being there, but it's better than being on Monday Night Raw. Get her as far away from Charlotte and now Alexa Bliss as humanly possible. Sasha Banks is the heel. Bayley has shown signs of being a great heel. And I think Bayley has it within her to bring out that inner bitch. And I would love to see that. As long as Bayley is developing some fucking intensity along the way, that's what we need. But I think this is going to be between Sasha and Bayley, and if that is the case, I would have Bayley win it, pretty much bringing Sasha Banks to the brink of frustration and just taking all of frustration out on Bayley in uncharacteristic form because the fans don't really expect that from Sasha, and then heel turn is complete on Monday Night Raw. Cedric Alexander and Mustafa Ali for the vacant Cruiserweight Championship. I had a feeling it was going to be these two. My dark horse was Roderick Strong. I would have loved to see Roderick Strong versus Cedric Alexander for the Cruiserweight Championship, but we're getting Mustafa Ali, who is an underrated talent as they come in WWE. Maybe one of the best workers in the entire company. Sells his fucking ass off. Absolutely fantastic at what he does. Cedric Alexander is a long time coming. He has withered away in Vince McMahon's vision of 205 Live. Coming out of the Cruiserweight Classic, this guy was destined for greatness, and it hasn't shown yet. Finally, now with Triple H manning the control stations at 205 Live, Cedric Alexander is right back where he belongs, where he should have been all this time coming out of the Cruiserweight Classic. These guys are going to put on a classic, and they are going to show you exactly why they should have been on the main show. Cedric Alexander versus Mustafa Ali, going to be one of the best matches of the night. Cedric Alexander is going to become your new Cruiserweight champion. That is my prediction for the pre-show. In no particular order, we're just going to run down what I see here in my notes. Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns for the WWE Universal Championship. You guys know how I've felt about this feud and this storyline. Roman Reigns has been built up over the past year for this moment. It is as predictable as they come. Sometimes predictable is good. Sometimes predictable is bad. This is one of those instances in which predictable is bad. Nobody wants to see Roman Reigns as the Universal Champion. Nobody wants to see Roman Reigns at WrestleMania win the Universal Championship, let alone in the main event, the last match of the show. WWE has forced Roman Reigns down our throat. They have forced the Roman Reigns initiative worse than they ever have in the last 4 years. WWE had Roman Reigns come out after the Elimination Chamber and call Brock Lesnar a part-time bitch who doesn't love his job, who doesn't appreciate the boys and girls in the back, who doesn't love the WWE, who hates everybody. Now, I didn't need Roman Reigns to tell me all that. I knew that already going into WrestleMania. We didn't need Roman saying it. And who the fuck is Roman to say any of that? He ain't no locker room leader. He doesn't come off as one on WWE television. He comes off as second rate on WWE television. Throwing words around like bitch when talking about Brock Lesnar doesn't make you a tough guy, Roman Reigns. It makes you look fucking stupid. Okay? So it's not going to enhance Roman's image by calling Brock Lesnar a bitch. So they were supposed to have a showdown. Where's Brock Lesnar, asks Roman Reigns. Well, he's not here, says Kurt Angle. So Roman Reigns takes his frustration out on Vince. Now it's Vince McMahon's fault. So they tried to switch from Roman Reigns calling Brock Lesnar a bitch and being upset to all the blame being on Vince McMahon. Now they're trying to position Roman Reigns as some fucking locker room leader superhero. So then Roman gets suspended. Oh, let me cry a fucking river of tears because the big dog ain't on television because he got wrongfully suspended. Yeah, sure, that's going to get him over with the fucking fans. So Roman Reigns is not on television, right? Nope, he's right on television. Walks out in his Shield gear. Then he's getting arrested by U.S. Marshals for showing up while suspended. And then poor Brock Lesnar comes out and does what Brock Lesnar does best and beats the shit out of him. Beats the shit out of him. Before that, I jumped the gun. I apologize. We had Vince McMahon saying exactly what Roman Reigns said. So now we got Roman Reigns and Vince McMahon trying to paint Brock Lesnar as the bad guy. Oh, Brock Lesnar's an individualist. Oh, Brock Lesnar hates people. Brock Lesnar gets certain perks because he deserves it. Blah, 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 blah. So they're painting Brock Lesnar as this bad guy who hates the WWE, so fans boo him. Meanwhile, when Roman was announced as suspended, people started doing yes chants. So how good did that work, Vince? Not so well. So Roman gets beat down, and he's arrested, and he's handcuffed, and he gets fucking slammed on steel steps. He gets suplexed, he gets F5'd, he gets put on a stretcher. Boo-hoo-hoo, let me cry some more. Brock Lesnar comes back out, overflips the fucking, the stretcher, right? Dallas started to make me believe that, well, maybe WWE's plan is working. Maybe WWE's initiative is finally working. It was just a tease. It was a cock tease. So then Roman Reigns comes out and once again proclaims himself to be the superhero of the locker room, right? We have Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns squaring off in the middle of the ring. Kurt Angle doesn't want these guys to meet face to face, so we got the WWE locker room preventing it from happening. Roman Reigns states, you're going to let Kurt Angle prevent me, a full-timer, get to this part-time bitch? This part-timer who doesn't give a shit about you guys at all? It's like parting of the Red Sea, right? It's so nauseating. On top of that, it's not even the performers. They even had Paul Heyman get involved and speak so highly about Roman Reigns and speak so highly about the Universal Championship and what it means to be the Universal Champion. Saying all these good things about what the title brings to the guy who holds it and what Roman Reigns is going to be and what Roman Reigns is going to take from Brock Lesnar when he becomes the Universal Champion. Garbage. Vomit-inducing garbage. This is nothing but an inevitability, people. This does not belong in the main event. This is not good storytelling. Anybody with two eyes and a fucking brain could see right through WWE's initiative. What happens after WrestleMania? What is Roman going to do with the title after WrestleMania? How many guys are they going to feed to? Is there any guys left to feed to Roman? That's the fucking better question. Is there anybody left to feed Roman who's right now as fat as they come on WWE talent? You know, WWE brilliantly asked on social media, well, how many Superman punches is Roman Reigns going to deliver to Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania? How many can the Beast take? Now, the better question is, how many F5s is Roman Reigns going to take? How many F5s is Roman Reigns going to kick out of? And how many spears is it going to take to level Brock Lesnar? Multiple F5s, multiple kickouts, and one spear. Because the initiative went away from Roman Reigns being the superhero standing up to everybody. Now the initiative is Roman takes his ass kicking and keeps on coming. And that's exactly what's going to happen at WrestleMania. We will not be surprised. I will not sit here on Sunday night complaining about anything that we see at WrestleMania because, like I said, it's an inevitability. Roman Reigns will win the WWE Universal Championship in the most predictable main event in WrestleMania history. Get it over with. It should have happened at SummerSlam, but WWE and Vince wanted to push it for WrestleMania. Now, if it's the main event, do we get a swerve? I don't think so. WWE, if they haven't given us a swerve or a heel turn with Roman Reigns in 4 years, it's not happening now. Would I like to see Paul Heyman align himself with Roman Reigns? Yes, I would. It would keep Paul Heyman on television. And yes, Roman Reigns would be a fucking genuine character. The other thing I would like to see happen, but is the most unlikely of all the situations, is Brock Lesnar win this match, come out, and give the title up on Monday Night Raw. Now, some have asked, well, JD, why would Roman Reigns get a rematch on Monday Night Raw if Brock Lesnar beat him in WrestleMania? Well, I mean, it's simple. It's WWE logic. You know, Lesnar could give up the title or willingly want to give up the title and walk away to UFC, or Roman Reigns can coerce him into a match. Listen, you got away with it last night. You got lucky. Give me another shot. I can beat you. And then we'll see the heel turn. Then we'll see Paul Heyman betray Brock Lesnar. Goodbye to UFC. He's staying here with Roman Reigns. I wish WWE would at least be creative and give us the Roman that we all want to see. Instead of this fucking hoax version of Roman Reigns that's pretending to be a babyface, but underneath the fucking vest and the armor is fucking heel waiting to come out. Roman Reigns is going to be your new Universal Champion. AJ Styles versus Shinsuke Nakamura in the dream match that everybody wanted. The build has not been that good. The build has been built up on the emotion of AJ Styles, according to Nakamura. Nakamura won the Royal Rumble. He immediately came out and announced that he wants AJ Styles. That was the best thing about this entire feud. The fact that Nakamura won the Royal Rumble, the fact that Nakamura eliminated Roman Reigns to win the Royal Rumble and immediately wanted AJ Styles at WrestleMania. Great job. But the build itself hasn't been anything. And the reason and the only thing I can think of is because WWE knew the audience wanted this dream match, that they really wouldn't have to put as much effort into making people care about this match because they already cared about it before it was even announced. It's all they wanted. It's all they talked about for WrestleMania. It's the one thing people wanted at WrestleMania, and they got it. So WWE figured that they don't need to put too much effort into this match that people are already excited to see. It is Nakamura's time. It really is Nakamura's time, man. Nakamura has not been presented in the best way on WWE television. Obviously, with the Jinder failure that was last year and feeding him to Jinder and getting the Jinder initiative over that never went anywhere, that was never going to go anywhere. AJ Styles was a part of that. AJ won the WWE Championship, and he is going into WrestleMania as the rightful owner of the WWE Championship. Should have happened last year, but WWE had the Bray Wyatt situation that nobody really minded at the time, but they fucked it up at WrestleMania, and then we all wondered why AJ wasn't the WWE champion going into WrestleMania. If WWE was going to fuck that up that badly, then you should have kept the title on AJ coming out of the Royal Rumble. But this year, AJ's going into WrestleMania as the WWE champion, rightfully deserved. Rightfully deserved. But you kind of know when it's someone's time. You kind of know when a passing of the guard moment is about to happen. Nakamura is going to be the new WWE champion. I think Nakamura wins the WWE championship, and I think he holds it for the remainder of the year, up until the end of the year at least. I pitched the idea that I heard from Solomonster, which I love, and I'm sticking to it. I hope it happens. The Miz would lose the Intercontinental Championship. Miz, Rollins, Balor is the next match on my list anyway. The Miz would lose the Intercontinental Championship. And he would get drafted in a shakeup or a draft, whatever they do, coming out of WrestleMania. He would move over to SmackDown Live. The Miz would win the Money in the Bank briefcase, hold it, and cash in on Nakamura at Survivor Series, where we would see AJ Styles versus Nakamura 2, because AJ, I would believe, is moving over to Monday Night Raw. You have AJ take the title off Roman. AJ going into Survivor Series as the Universal Champion. Nakamura as the WWE Champion. We would get AJ versus Nakamura 2 in WWE, 3 altogether. AJ versus Nakamura 2 in WWE at Survivor Series. But, The Miz would cash in on Nakamura, and he would win the WWE Championship. So then that would position The Miz as WWE Champion for at least the last few months of the year, going into 2019, going into WrestleMania. Daniel Bryan would win the Royal Rumble or the Elimination Chamber, whichever WWE chooses for him. He would go on to WrestleMania and challenge The Miz and become the WWE Champion, concluding that feud and tying up all loose ends there. It's tough to not like that situation. It's tough to not like that situation. That is a very, very creative direction for WWE. It gives them long term. It gives them a solid plan going into next year. There's only positive to come out of that. People are already asking me, JD, you don't like The Miz as Intercontinental Champion, but now you want him as WWE Champion. There's no better person to take the WWE Championship off The Miz than Daniel Bryan. That's why I'm doing that. And we all know, with the body of work The Miz did on SmackDown Live with the Intercontinental Championship and with Dolph Ziggler, people were talking about him being WWE Champion then. If he can get back to that, it's a win-win situation for everybody. I do think we see the Demon. I do think we see Finn Balor become the new Intercontinental Champion, because I do think Seth Rollins is moving over to SmackDown Live. I do think if there's a draft or a shakeup, Rollins is moving over to SmackDown Live. AJ's coming over to Monday Night Raw. And those are going to be your two big moves there. One top guy for another. Seth Rollins to get to man SmackDown Live all by himself and have a number one guy position on that show. Finn Balor needs the Intercontinental Championship. Not because he's had somewhat of a slight resurrection with the Balor Club, being with Gallows and Anderson, but for the fact that he never lost the Universal Championship. And he hasn't had a rightful shot at regaining that championship because of the Roman Initiative and the fact that Brock Lesnar has held that title hostage for the better part of a year. Balor deserves the Intercontinental Championship. Not only that, it makes sense to put it on a babyface. A lot more presents itself with the babyface holding the Intercontinental Championship than keeping it on a heel. That is my opinion on that. Balor versus Jeff Hardy. Balor versus Samoa Joe. Balor versus Elias. Balor versus Jason Jordan. Whatever. You guys get my point. There's a lot more competition for a babyface on Monday Night Raw than there would be for a heel on Monday Night Raw. Because most of the babyfaces right now are tied up with the Universal Championship, you know? And I think it's just the better way to go with a heel chasing the IC title rather than a babyface. That's just my opinion on that. Balor, the Demon, shows up in New Orleans, wins the Intercontinental Championship. Randy Orton, Bobby Roode, Jinder Mahal, and Rusev for the United States Championship. This one is causing a lot of controversy because there was a rumor going around that Mike Johnson reported Rusev was going to walk out of the WWE. He asked for his release because they weren't using him the way that he deserves to be used. He was getting shortchanged at WrestleMania, which is very plausible. It is a very believable story. It's not something that is out of the ordinary. He asked for his release 2 weeks before WrestleMania. He asked for his release before he was put into the triple threat match to make it a fatal four-way. I believe it. I believe it. And WWE should do everything in their power to make Rusev happy because they have an untapped talent. They have untapped potential in Rusev. You don't want Rusev going to Ring of Honor. You don't want Rusev going to New Japan. You don't want Rusev Club t-shirts at Hot Topic. You don't want Rusev in the Bullet Club. Because you know it would be coming. Rusev Day being celebrated in New Japan. You don't want that. You don't want that at all. Rusev has been the number one unofficial babyface on SmackDown Live outside of Daniel Bryan. Rusev has been the number one merchandise seller in all of WWE with Rusev Day t-shirts. That is equivalent to winning some type of championship at WrestleMania. You know, WWE should do the guy the honor of rewarding him. Reward the fucking guy for getting himself over and selling your merchandise and becoming a character people want to see. Rusev went from someone who was just kind of glanced over and passed over to now someone that people genuinely want to pay their money for and be around and see and invest their time in. That's value. That is commendable. That is respectable. And that needs to be rewarded at WrestleMania. Jinder Mahal is trash. He's garbage. I don't want him anywhere near a championship, let alone a major match at WrestleMania. Jinder Mahal should have been the United States champion coming out of WrestleMania last year. But no, they gave him the WWE title, so they not only sabotaged SmackDown Live for all of 2017, they drove the WWE Championship 6 feet under. Should have been the United States champion coming out of WrestleMania. Maybe people would have had a better perception of Jinder Mahal. Not this year. He's still trash. He will forever be trash. Bobby Roode, coming out of NXT, was the best thing in that entire company. Can't say the same thing about Bobby Roode on the main roster. He doesn't need the United States Championship, and he doesn't deserve. This version of Bobby Roode doesn't deserve the United States Championship. Randy Orton, you guys know how I described him in recent weeks. A human bottle of walking NyQuil. That's all he is. Randy Orton as a babyface is fucking boring. There's only one winner in this match, people. I cannot believe WWE would be this fucking stupid to not give Rusev a championship victory on Rusev Day at WrestleMania. I can't see them being that stupid. I can't. I physically can't. I'm going with Rusev because it's the only thing that makes fucking sense. It's either Rusev or Randy Orton winning this match. I don't think Bobby Roode is going to win it, and I don't think Jinder Mahal is going to win the WWE Championship. Not unless you want people to fucking start throwing trash in the ring. Jinder Mahal is awful. Rusev is your only outcome in this match. Rusev is your new United States Champion. Alexa Bliss versus Nia Jax. I hope it's a fucking squash. I hope it's 60 seconds, and we move on from it as quickly as possible. I would prefer, because there's no ground rules here. There's no ground rules here about what is legal as far as the Money in the Bank briefcase held by Carmella. They didn't state it SmackDown only. They didn't state anything of that nature. I hope if WWE had some creative brain cells working, that they would have Carmella cash in on this match and make this a triple threat match. Just surprise me. I would rather it be this match than Charlotte Flair and Asuka. I want Asuka to pull out all the stops and give me a competitive match with Charlotte. I think we deserve a women's match like that on the main roster, and I hope we do get it. But both matches present itself to being cash-in worthy. If Nia Jax and Alexa Bliss get cashed in on, I expect Carmella to be the WWE Women's Champion for Monday Night Raw. And it will present itself as being, listen, unpredictable. You know, now we got Carmella moving over to Monday Night Raw because Asuka more than likely, winning the SmackDown Live Women's Championship is moving over to SmackDown Live. So it presents itself in that nature. If WWE wants to have Carmella cash in on Charlotte Flair and Asuka, it would be very reminiscent of what we've seen with Seth Rollins. She would cash in on Charlotte, and she would pin Charlotte. She would not pin Asuka. And I'm going to say this once, and I'm going to say it again. I don't give a fuck what anybody says in the comment section or what you want to tweet at me on Twitter. If Asuka loses in a triple threat match with Carmella cashing in, that doesn't mean Asuka's undefeated streak is over. Because Asuka wasn't pinned. The whole basis of Asuka's undefeated streak is her being pinned. Nobody beat Asuka. Asuka wasn't beaten. You're not going to have somebody come out there and say, yeah, I beat Asuka. No, you didn't. How could you beat Asuka when you pinned Charlotte for the SmackDown Live Women's Championship in a cash-in? You didn't pin Asuka's shoulder to the mat. You didn't physically get the 1, 2, 3 on Asuka. Then at that point, I'm saying, okay, Asuka lost. Her undefeated streak is over. If Asuka loses in a triple threat match and doesn't have her shoulders pinned, she is still undefeated. I don't care what WWE says. Okay? People telling me, well, JD, they said it on the Mixed Match Challenge. If The Miz got his shoulder pinned with Braun Strowman in the finals of the Mixed Match Challenge, Asuka's undefeated streak is over. Are you that fucking stupid? Are you that stupid? And you're going to believe them when they say that? No, it's not the case. If Carmella cashes in on Alexa Bliss and Asuka, then it would substitute the fact that Asuka's going to move to SmackDown Live. I would rather see that. Who I think is going to win in this overly fucking stupid storyline that put no basis on the Raw Women's Championship, but instead Nia's image? Yeah, great storytelling there. It's exactly what I want to see coming out of a WrestleMania match. Nia Jax is going to win the Raw Women's Championship, as she should. Move on from it, end it. Charlotte Flair versus Asuka. If Carmella cashes in here, she will end up pinning Charlotte Flair in a similar situation to what Seth Rollins did with Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 31. She would end up being the champion. If there's no cash in, Asuka is going to win the title, and rightfully so. Asuka will be the SmackDown Live Women's Champion. And there's been no build for this match whatsoever. It's pretty much build on the basis of Charlotte's happy because she wants competition. Asuka's challenging Charlotte because she wants competition. Wow, what a mind-blowing aspect. What a mind-blowing concept. The women are putting the title first. Asuka's going to be your new SmackDown Live Women's Champion. The Bar. I wish I was at a fucking bar right now. This video's gone on way too long. Sheamus and Cesaro. The Bar versus Braun Strowman and a partner to be announced. The latest rumor that I'm hearing is that Bobby Lashley is in New Orleans. Now, we don't know if he's going to show up at WrestleMania. We don't know if he's going to show up on Monday Night Raw. But Bobby Lashley is not what I call a WrestleMania moment. Bobby Lashley does nothing for me. Bobby Lashley will not get a hey or any type of excitement out of me. Bobby Lashley's not going to make me smile. Bobby Lashley's not going to move the needle. Bobby Lashley is as boring as this fucking desk color sitting in front of me. Seriously. He will do nothing for WrestleMania's crowd. I don't even want to see him as a partner for Braun Strowman. I heard the likes of Jericho. I heard the likes of Mysterio. I heard the likes of Kane. I heard the likes of James Ellsworth. I heard the Big Show. None of which I want to see, by the way. Well, it's the big gay. Can you imagine? Is that what you call a WrestleMania moment? I don't. It's what I call WrestleMania vomit-inducing garbage. Big Show just signed a multi-year deal. God forbid we have to deal with this fucking guy not only on Monday Night Raw every week, but as tag team champion. Samoa Joe is the likely partner for Braun Strowman. Not only is he the best choice, he's the one choice that makes the most sense. Because not only is that a formidable team, Not only is Braun Strowman doing the job that he needs to do and using his fucking brain and picking a partner, of all those guys, who are you going to pick? I choose Joe. Oh, but JD, Samoa Joe is a fat slob, man. Those are the people that I don't want watching me. Samoa Joe and Braun Strowman would be a great tag team. They would implode on their own, and then you can easily take them out of the tag team situation and make them all about the Universal Championship. Don't you think that makes the most sense? I do. I'm going with Joe, but I think it's going to be the Big Show. Braun Strowman and whomever his partner is are going to be new Raw Tag Team Champions, because I think Sheamus and Cesaro are moving over to SmackDown Live. The Usos, The New Day, and the Bludgeon Brothers. I'm still crossing my fingers in hopes we get a ladder match. I think this show needs a ladder match. We got Fatal 4-Ways and Triple Threats and Tag Teams and Mixed Tag Teams and this and that. All multi-man matches. Usos, New Day, and Bludgeon Brothers, I think, would thrive in a ladder match. May end up getting match of the night if you put a ladder match stipulation in there. Usos have been fantastic. I think the Usos have been fantastic. They've been the best tag team, not only in the WWE, but they've been the best tag team in the entire world. They don't necessarily need the tag team championships right now. They are better than the tag team championships. New Day, they've seen their day. I think the Bludgeon Brothers deserve a WrestleMania moment, and I think they have come a long way in being built up, and I think they need the tag team championships to pretty much run that division. I think the Usos are moving over to Monday Night Raw. I think the Bludgeon Brothers are going to be the new tag team that's going to be the dominating force on SmackDown Live. I think the Bludgeon Brothers are going to win the tag team championships. They are going to be your new SmackDown Live tag team champions. And if it's a ladder match, we could have match of the night potential between these three teams. Kurt Angle and Ronda Rousey versus Triple H and Stephanie McMahon. You guys know how I felt about Ronda. We've discussed it. We've went over it. We've dissected it. It is what it is, man. The outcome here, everybody knows Ronda Rousey and Kurt Angle are going to win. But we've already seen Ronda Rousey attack Stephanie McMahon. They gave that money moment away on Monday Night Raw already. So what's going to happen? I honestly think Ronda Rousey is going to tap out Triple H in this match. She's going to armbar Triple H, and I think Triple H is going to be tapped out. Not only would that be historic for Ronda Rousey's first WrestleMania moment, because they want to, give Ronda the world in her first WrestleMania match, in her first match period at WrestleMania. But I think Ronda tapping out Triple H would be much more of an attractive headline on all outlets across the world than Stephanie McMahon just tapping out to Ronda Rousey, which would be in mere milliseconds. I think at least Triple H would fight and then eventually tap out to Ronda Rousey. Not really expecting much out of this match. I am interested in this match for the mere spectacle of it. I don't expect much of anything. I hope Ronda succeeds. I hope we see Ronda kick ass on Sunday night. But I'm not excited about the match outside of the fact that it's a mere WrestleMania spectacle. Ronda and Kurt are going to win. Ronda's going to tap out Triple H at WrestleMania. And finally, guys, Daniel Bryan and Shane McMahon versus Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. One of the few matches I am actually looking forward to because of the work Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn have done. They have been brilliant in recent weeks, and for the return of Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan is going to fucking own WrestleMania, and I can't wait to see. Now, there's two things here that I want to go over quickly before we get the hell out of here. Number one, it's very difficult for me to see Daniel Bryan losing his first match back. But I would not be surprised if WWE has Shane McMahon turn on Daniel Bryan and causes him to lose the match, and Shane aligns himself with Owens and Zayn. I could definitely see something like that happen, because I did get a small vibe from Shane McMahon that something ain't right. Something ain't right with him and Daniel Bryan. And the fact that WWE's played up the fact that Shane McMahon's injuries and infections are over-exaggerated. So we don't know what WWE has planned. If they are really over-exaggerating Shane McMahon's ailments and Shane's going to be there, it must be playing into some storyline type of situation. That's going to be an interesting aspect to see. Sami Zayn has owned his heel gimmick. And he's doing a fantastic job at it. Kevin Owens is great at what he does. I'm glad that we're seeing fucking, I don't give a fuck Kevin Owens. You know? A big difference to what we've seen with Kevin Owens as Universal Champion last year. Funny man, comedic Kevin Owens. This is the Kevin Owens we want to see. I want to say Daniel Bryan and Shane McMahon win, and then we get a heel turn. I think that would be the proper moment. I want to see Daniel Bryan get a WrestleMania moment in his match back. I want to see the fans happy. I want to see them fucking yesing with every yes kick. I want to see people doing fucking yes chants, 80,000 strong. I want to see Daniel Bryan make Sami Zayn tap out with a yes lock. But a Shane McMahon heel turn is very, very plausible here. Very plausible. And I want to see Daniel Bryan win and then a heel turn. Because it would give Daniel Bryan something to do in the interim before we put Daniel Bryan back into the WWE Championship picture. That's just my opinion. I'm going with Daniel Bryan and Shane McMahon, and then we get a heel turn after the match is over. As far as John Cena and The Undertaker, I'm not going to talk about it. You guys know how I feel about it. I love it. Will we see The Undertaker? Yes. But I'm not going to sit here and tell you we get a match. What's my prediction? I say we do get a match, but I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. It's one of those moments where I'm not going to say anything, but I'm just going to enjoy it. Because the unpredictability of it is what's got me. The silence of The Undertaker and the unpredictability factor of what we are going to get, or what we might get, what we might not get, is the most interesting aspect of WrestleMania to me. So I'm not going to say much on it. I say we do get a match, and I say we see The Undertaker go out in style, beating John Cena at WrestleMania, if it is indeed a match. I hope it is, but I'm going to enjoy the last ride that it is for The Undertaker, man. That is your WrestleMania preview and predictions. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Long ass off the script. I don't know when it's going to go up. It'll be up. Thank you guys so much. Follow me on Twitter at JDFROMNY206. Hit that subscribe button down below. Hit that bell for notifications. I don't know what we'll be doing tomorrow. I might give you some late-breaking, last-minute WrestleMania news before we get to WrestleMania. Other than that, thank you guys so very much for all the love and support, and I will see you guys tomorrow with more content on this WrestleMania weekend. Enjoy your Saturdays. I'll talk to you guys later.